can settle back and enjoy the first head-to-head of the season between Rangers and Celtic is at Ibrox Stadium. It's live here on Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland. We'll hear more from Tom English later. Your commentary team are Pat Bonner, Billy Dodds and Liam McLeod.
Well, the sun is splitting the sky here in Glasgow, but there are storm clouds above both Ibrox and Celtic Park just now in the wake of their insipid Champions League failures during the week. And despite all that and the problems that Celtic have had recently, it is 3 wins out of 3 for them at the start of their Premiership title defence as they look for yet another title. Whereas for Rangers, it's not just been problems in Europe, it is also problems domestically, without a win in their opening 3 league matches for the first time since 1989. You've got to go back to 83 to find an example of them not winning any of their opening 4 league matches. The Rangers team that hands a debut to Bojan Mijovski, who arrived from the Spanish side Girona just yesterday. Butland in goal, Tavernier, Giga, Suter, Megoma, Diamonde, Barron, Osgaard, with Moore and Gassama up there with Mijovski. Celtic, Schmeichel in goal, Ralston, Carter-Vickers, Scales and Tierney, Engels, McGregor, Hatate, Nygren, Maida and the new signing Balikwisha. The referees Don Robertson. The pre-match pleasantries, if you want to call them that, are just about over. The vast majority of the pitch in sunshine as the lower tier of the Sandy Jardine stand is over on the far side. The Celtic fans too shielding their eyes over to the left on this late summer high noon. And Rangers against Celtic for the first time this season. Celtic are going to kick it off. They're going to go from left to right in the green and white hoop shirts, white shorts, white socks. Rangers in the blue jerseys, white shorts, black socks with the red tops. It's rolled back to Scales, who knocks it off his old Aberdeen teammate Mijovski, but it breaks Celtic's way anyway. And Balikwisha, who's starting on the left, Maida through the middle, gets a first feel of the ball as a Celtic player and rolls it in field to Hatate, back to Tierney, flicked on by Maida and swept to safety by Suter on his 18-yard line as Scales picks up and rolls it out to the far side. Tierney down the touchline for Balikwisha, who goes down, fouled by the Rangers skipper Tavernier, who's one of those 5 alterations in the side. And Kieran Tierney, who's returning to this fixture after 6 years away, getting himself involved over on the far side with Gassama. It is a Celtic free kick which Tierney takes and rolls it back to McGregor, and Tierney will relish this one. I would have thought, Packy, having had so long away from it.
Yeah, of course he will. Absolutely. You come back, you want to play in the big games, and they're no bigger than this, especially away from home and that. But that time I think they wanted to take a quick free kick, and I think he was stopped from doing that, and that's why he kind of reacted a little bit.
Mikey Moore starting on the left, JD Gassama over on the right as it's rolled all the way back there to Giga, who finds Jack Butland, who chips it forward. It's too high for Mijovski. Carter-Vickers gets it away, breaks back into the centre circle, the chest back by Mijovski, but it's going to break back to Celtic, and it's Carter-Vickers back to Schmeichel. What I would say is, in his time at Aberdeen, Billy Dodds, Bojan Mijovski caused plenty problems for Carter-Vickers, who's looked at times like he's got the cigars out in Scottish football, but Mijovski did give him troubles in the past.
A fully fit Mijovski, yes. We'll see how fit he is today. I think he'll get opportunities, and Rangers will get chances and will create. It's whether they can keep them out at the other end. That is a problem, Liam.
It's an epic failure. Mijovski's moved to Girona. It's 4 goals, just 2 in La Liga. They both came in the same game against Espanyol last season. He was hooked at half-time in his only appearance this term. There's a long ball from Butland, Ralston chasing, Mijovski's chasing him down, and he barges Ralston to the ground, and that's gone down well with the home fans, who want to see that combative nature in this fixture more than any other. We are 2 minutes in, 0-0.
That'll open the lungs up for him. I mean, that's a 40-yard chase. Ralston gets there first, puts his body in, and he just absolutely smashes into his back, Mijovski. But Rangers fans loved it. Shows the intent. He knows what this game's all about, and this game does things like that to you, Liam.
Well, you two know it perfectly well, of course, and it can, on your debut, not just your not just a debut in the fixture, but your club debut as well. This fixture, your first go at it, can either swamp you or you can become a massive hero.
Yeah, and for every player playing, those early touches and what you do early in the game is also a critical factor, you know, and you want to get off to the right start.
Schmeichel has it at the edge of his box, plays it short to Scales. Rangers facing the possibility of going 9 points behind Celtic after 4 league games if the visitors win this one. A misunderstanding between Hatate and Tierney on the far side. The Japanese midfielder rolls it straight out of play, and Tavernier takes the quick throw in down the right hand side. Oscar chasing it and running it back at the right angle of the area, but Tierney does well to pinch it back off Oscar, then plays it off Tavernier, who thundered into the challenge. He blocks it and out it goes for a Celtic throw in over on the far side. Probably the ideal fixture for both these clubs, really, off the back of such embarrassment in the week in Europe.
No doubt about it. I mean, it's a fixture that'll take care of itself. You can see them doing things, going into challenges that just wouldn't do in the normal domestic fixture against other clubs. No disrespect to them, but it just doesn't happen. This fixture is a different animal.
So to play for a Celtic throw on the far side, just inside their own half. Celtic left, bowled forward to Balikwisha by Tierney. The Belgian holding off Tavernier, rolls it infield to Hatate, the edge of the box, into the area for Benjamin Nygren, but it just bobbles away from him. And Barron slips it out to Diamonde, who in turn finds Moore on this left-hand side for Rangers. Moore up to the halfway line. Forward it goes to Diamonde. Carter Vickers comes and closes him down and knocks it back off Diamonde and out for a Celtic throw-in. Yeah. Rangers fans think that should have gone their way, but I think it's pretty clear that it came back off the Rangers number 10 last.
Yeah, just looking at Balogun, he's obviously gone almost long with nearly every single ball he's had so far. Just at the start of the game, that would be the way. I don't think it's going to be the way that they want to play, but that's maybe just the early stages of the game has dictated.
Miovski with a header, and he's managed to just about find Gassama. Plays it to Oscar, who then finds Barron in the centre circle. Back to Giga, square to Suter. Steps onto his right side, back to Giga. Awkward one for him though, but Maida, despite his best efforts, couldn't get onto it. That would have been a dodgy moment once again for Nasser Giga. He's had a few of them in a Rangers jersey. As Tavernier knocks it back to Butland, who'll clear it first time with the right foot. Out to that far side where Barron controls it really well, and he's brought to the ground by Hatate. And that will be a free kick over on that far side for Rangers, right on the touchline for Tavernier to take. It is goalless, 5.5 in.
So many nerves, even at this stage of the game, 6 minutes in, and just slashing at things, physical duels where you don't get a second in the ball. It's just, it's car stuff.
There will be a throw into Rangers on this near side. Meg Homa is over it, the 19-year-old on loan from Brentford, as he pulls it back to Suter on his right side again, despite playing on the left of the back two. Giga then to Tavernier, it's at the edge of the D, forward to Diamande, who then turns it out to that far side for Asgard, who goes to Barron on the right. Barron looking to slip it through to Miovski. He's managed to get in behind Scales, he goes down, and John Robertson says no penalty. And the Rangers supporters howl their derision at the decision. It stays 0-0 on 6.5. And I can tell you that it's a play on for that one there. Miovski barged to the ground by Liam Scales. And it's always dodgy for the centre-back when the centre-forward gets goal side of you.
Absolutely. First and 10, they'll have a look surely. But when he gets there, you have got to make sure you keep your distance as a defender. You saw it here when Rangers got a penalty late against Dundee. Once you're there, and Gassama was there, I mean, you've got to try and stay away, and that was a bit down the same lines, because Miovski definitely got goal side, as you say, Liam, and Scales goes clumsily into the back of him.
He's running the risk, I think.
It's one of them that if you're a clever striker, you'll go across the defender. Obviously Scales got caught with the ball down the side. It was a good run from Miovski down the side of him, and then he just sort of gets across Scales, and that was a contact. So the referee's been close to it, he's read it, VAR's obviously checked it, so it's accidental, I think, that they're probably saying.
Andrew Dallas is on VAR, and he very quickly
That's not always right, lads.
No, listen, we understand that, but I think both of them made the decision very, very quickly.
Yeah, you watched Chelsea Fulham last night, yesterday I watched it, and you'll see a couple there.
Seemed pretty quick to back the on-field
Skill
decision.
is gone from the game, Billy. Skill is gone.
0-0, 8 minutes played. Throwing Rangers over on that right-hand side, which Tavernier will bowl into the Celtic box towards the penalty spot, away by Giga. Well, bounces off Giga, it's gone the wrong way, and he goes out for a throw-in on this near side after a loose ball by Rangers for Celtic, and Ralston is over at level with the edge of the D of his own box. Down the right-hand touchline, he's met there by Goma. Breaks to Carter Vickers, who will roll it back to his keeper, Schmeichel, short to Scales. Stepping out of his box, a poor ball out of defence by Scales. Diamonde's onto it, chops onto his right side. Tierney sticks with him and puts it out for a Rangers throw-in. They probably made the brighter start of the home team here, almost 9 in. They've got a throw-in level with the Celtic penalty spot on that far side.
Yeah, they're pressing well, Rangers. They have been a good start from them. Again, Scales playing into Rangers sort of what they want, trying that little ball through midfield, that penetrating pass, cut out, and then you're under pressure. Play it up to the striker early on in this game. That's what Rangers done. Butland has done that on numerous occasions.
Tavernier, and it comes just too high for Suter. It's away by his Scotland teammate Tierney, and Hatate heads it behind for a Rangers corner. They have been the better start, Billy. They don't look like a team right now that was thumped 6-0 on Wednesday evening.
They're definitely up for it. Celtic are, you know the old film when the Celtic are playing at Ibrox, they come away from home, they're trying to just get through the first 15 minutes and settle into the game. I think Celtic will do that if Rangers don't score, but Rangers have certainly started the brighter team.
Conor Barron will take the corner right in front of the Celtic supporters over on the far side. Lots of movement for Barron, and it comes with the right foot. It's headed away by Daisen Maeda. He's going to break back Barron's way. He's level with 18-yard line, wide in the right. Curls across, it's a good one, and Scales flicks it away with Miovski trying to get his head onto it. Just in front of goal. Rangers throw-in, level with the Celtic 6-yard line on this near side this time.
Yeah, it was a great ball in from Tavernier. Obviously comes back to him from the initial corner, but what a really good header from Scales in the back post. He got up and flicked it on under real pressure.
It was, because Miovski's desperate for a goal. You can see the positions he's getting himself into right away.
Scored 4 times against Rangers for Aberdeen, 7 appearances against them as Tavernier's throw-in comes in, and it's flicked behind. Is that another corner? Yes, it is. Rangers keeping the pressure on. This one will come from the right-hand side again for Conor Barron.
I thought that was one that maybe Schmeichel could have came and punched. It's a loopy, it's a long throw, I've got to say. It's cleared almost a near post. In around about 5 yards, 4 or 5 yards out, it just come punching away and take the pressure off his defenders.
Seems crazy to say it 4 games in, but it could be viewed as a must-win for Rangers, this one. Barron takes the corner, comes off Scales' head. It's going to drop on this left-hand side of the box. Miovski beats Ralston to it on this near side. And he decides to roll it back the way to Giga, under pressure from Maeda. It's now with Ngoma, who will turn it back to Butland. So Miovski got a little bit fortunate there with his ball back as it's nicked towards Kusama. He steps away from Engels, middle of the park. McGregor with the challenge, and the referee's happy with that challenge. Russell Martin, I can tell you, is most certainly not down on the touchline as McGregor picks up the scratch here just outside the centre circle, and pass to Ralston goes beyond him and out for a throw-in. And Brendan Rodgers is furious as well down there.
Yeah, listen, Celtic are trying to settle the game down, trying to get their passing going. Obviously it hasn't worked so far, but Rangers are really aggressive and they're really putting that ball higher up the pitch and getting after Celtic. So maybe they've learned from that analysis, Billy, that I was talking about before the game, from your games.
Yeah, Celtic couldn't live really with the aggression of Rangers in the last few meetings, really. Ngoma is ready to take a throw-in on this near side, just beyond the midway point of Celtic territory. Ngoma looking for an option. He's got Oscar just making the move towards him. Instead he bowls it towards Moore. Moore trying to control the ball with his back to goal. What breaks to Diamonde. Nicked away by Nygren, and now Maeda will chase. Giga will get there first though, and he smashes out to play Brendan Rodgers at the dark there as that ball came rampaging towards him and out into the stand for a Celtic throw-in on this near side. Approaching 13 minutes at Ibrox. Rangers 0, Celtic 0.
Yeah, sort of desperate for the game to settle down, aren't they? You know, just to get a little bit of a momentum in this game, but it's not happening.
There's Moore for Rangers, driving down the left. 3 green and white shirts around him, looks to get the nutmeg on Ralston. It breaks to Engels, who puts it out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. There's an argument to say Rangers have played better in the opening 13 minutes of this than they have in any of their last 3 league matches. 3 draws. Maida picks up, he's got Hatate in field, and looks like another loose one. Hatate's to slide to retain possession for Celtic as it breaks to Tierney and then out to Balikwisha on the left. Looking to return it to Tierney, which he does. Barron with a slide challenge, and it's back off Tierney, last and behind for a Rangers goal kick.
That's energy that Barron brings. I've said it before, and it's not the first time. I really can't believe he's been out the team at times. He was really progressing. He had a wee bit to learn defensively, but the energy of him, and he showed it there by covering maybe 20 yards to smash that off to Kieran Tierney.
They're playing it short again, Rangers. Butland to Giga, who then has to put it out for a Celtic throw-in on the far side. I'm sorry, if you can't play that way, don't play that way.
No,
you lose
that's
goals because of it. And Rangers have lost umpteen goals because of it this season.
That is the point. You need players to be able to play.
And now they're going to be punished even more here. Tierney to the edge of the box to Ralston. Didn't really open up for a shot. He's not a goal scorer, of course, under pressure from Miovski. Comes back to McGregor and out to the left for Hatate. Has a look at the box. Rolls it to McGregor, who goes down, challenged well in the end by Oscar. And Rangers pick up with JD Gassama driving down the far side. Scales slides in, breaks to Balikwisha. Celtic have it back. It's rolled back up the line. Tierney, who then moves it into his own half for Scales. Scales square to Carter Vickers. To Scales again, and then to Carter Vickers, who'll then take it at walking pace up to the halfway line. Rolls it low along the grass out to Nygren, and then infield to Ralston. Back to Carter Vickers, who goes back to Schmeichel. Goalless here in Glasgow, and it's an extremely busy day. Another derby to come at Dens. Dundee against United. 2 o'clock kickoff for that one. Aberdeen, Falkirk, Hibs, St Mirren at 3 o'clock. Sportsound is full coverage across the afternoon. Final games before the first international break of the season. Nygren back to Carter Vickers, forward to McGregor, and then he goes back to Schmeichel and to Scales. Celtic just trying to calm things down.
Yeah.
I get a feel of the ball here.
Yeah, just moving the ball around the thirds of the pitch at the moment, yeah.
It's now with Tierney. He plays it square to Scales. Into Carter Vickers, who'll roll it into the Rangers half for Ralston, and back to Scales in the centre circle.
Yeah, you can see Brendan Rodgers actually as the most animated I've seen him for a long time down here on the sideline, trying to get some instruction out to his team to either play.
Scales almost short with the back pass. Barron is on to it potentially, but Schmeichel has it, plays it short to Carter Vickers. Now it's Ralston, goes all the way back to Schmeichel. And Celtic looking a bit nervy at times. And the thing that struck me across those 2 legs against Kyra was how lethargic Celtic looked throughout both legs.
You know what, I'm not just saying this, I know Rangers had a hard time in Europe, and Celtic obviously disappointment in the long journey. They look a wee bit leggy, Celtic. They're usually sharp, bright. They'll get that in stages of the game. It's as if they're trying to manage through these stages of the game, get through this first 15, 20, see if it'll settle, and then try and spring that high line from Rangers. But Rangers have been the better team.
It's Carter Vickers across the halfway line. Pushes it forward to Maida. First time back to Engels. Curls the ball with the right out to the left-hand side of the boxer. Balikwisha's level with the penalty spot. It's the cross in. Headed away by Moore. Oscar takes it down, facing his own goal, then slips it out to this near side for Megoma. He's going to get onto it. And his ball forward to Miovski's cut out by Carter Vickers, and then it's with Ralston back to Scales, and then to Tierney, left of the centre circle, forward to Hatate. And stabs it back to Scales. Paki Boner.
Yeah, the bit that's missing at the moment from Celtic is that sort of, there's a ball in.
Yeah,
and they've tried
too close to Butland. I'll just describe it and you can pick
please.
up. He's bent it across the 6-yard box, and it's gone the other side of the goal frame. No problem for Jack Butland, and a goal kick to Rangers.
Yeah, that piece, that just penetration, that movement up front, and that's the bit that have Celtic. They've got plenty of the ball now in the last probably 5, 6, 7 minutes, but it's that ball that kills teams when you've got movement up front, and they tried it on that occasion for the speed of Maeda. Couldn't get there. I want looking at some midfielders to go there also. Even the wide guys, you know, can they make that run? It can't always be the centre forward.
Ralston goes back to Schmeichel. Was it short to Carter Vickers, and then back to Schmeichel. Miovski's in close attendance. Schmeichel dumps it out to the left for Tierney. His header's going straight to Tavernier. Right of the centre circle, out to Gassama, wide on the right. Miovski's in the middle. Oscar arriving there too, as is Moore. Gassama down the far side towards the corner flag. Tierney with him all the way. Balikwisha too, but that's going to go behind. And what looked like a corner. And the assistant referee over there, Chris Ray, has indicated it's a goal kick, which Schmeichel takes quickly and short to the right for Ralston.
Yeah, they were beside, wasn't it, the assistant, so it's obviously deflected off the Rangers player. So I wouldn't argue with that, Liam.
Carter Vickers out to Ralston. Up the line towards Maeda. It's the break of the ball off Suter. Moves in field. Now it's Hatate. Hatate then fires it first time with the right foot out to the left for Balikwisha. Can take on Tavernier here. On that left-hand side, chops in field. Rolls it in field to McGregor. Square to Ralston. And then back to McGregor at the edge of the centre circle. Just pushes it to the left for Tierney.
Yeah, just
on
back
that,
to
Scales.
On that last move, made it brilliantly. But he's a striker out here on the left-hand side. And as soon as he went on the inside, opened up, you're looking for Balikwisha to make that run. And if that was Maeda in that position, I'm certain that he would have made the run in behind Tavernier.
Here comes Moore for Rangers. Back to Diamande, and now it's with Barron. The halfway line. Looked like it was opening up well for Rangers there, but they've played it back instead. It's now with Barron. Short to Diamande, and then back to Suter. And then to Giga, and out to Tavernier. Chip ball forward for Oscar. He flips it on towards Miovski. Was Oscar fouled there? Yes, he was. Rangers free kick.
He's doing well, Asgard. He's obviously in McGregor's area all the time defensively, but he's getting himself high and supporting Miovski when they have possession. Sorry, that's how they've got that free kick. But he's the man today. We did it with Bayrami on him, trying to just nullify Callum McGregor. He's tried to get in the game, but he's finding it difficult. But he's also getting forward, which has got Rangers this free kick, Liam.
He's a Scouser, is Oscar, despite the name there, Norwegian father. Joined from Luton here, 5 years at Wigan. He was in the Liverpool Academy, Norway international. As Tavernier clips the free kick into the right-hand side of the box. Suter heads it back, stabbed away by Scales. And the flag's up on the far side. We played almost 21 at Ibrox. It is Rangers 0, Celtic 0.
Yeah, the game's settled down now into a little bit more of a pattern, to be honest. Rangers have done really well now, this opening sort of almost 15 minutes where they put Celtic under lots of pressure, aggressive on the front foot. Celtic just getting into the game a little bit more now and trying to find their pattern of play.
Carter Vickers out to the right, low ball to Ralston. Same for him, forward to Engels. Osgaard with him, down goes Engels, free kick Celtic. Right in front of the Rangers manager, Russell Martin, who appears to be already walking the tightrope here as he tries to keep his balance as the Rangers boss. Having been appointed less than 3 months ago.
He'll be happy with his team start though, and Diamande jumped too quick there and to get out, and they just passed him out the game, freed up Engels. Maybe Conor Barron could have got over a little bit quicker, but there's a time to just wait your ground, and Diamande jumped quick.
The Rangers throw-in. Nygren thinks it should have been his.
That's the example I was talking about. Nygren playing out on the right-hand side. He's always going to come in on that left foot, and it's easy to read, and he just outfoxed him there.
Giga almost got the ball caught underneath him there. Finds Tavernier. Suter is instructed by Tavernier to get rid of it. In the end, he's actually put a decent ball out to Barron on the right, but then the turn from Gassama. But the ball doesn't stay with him, and it goes out for a Celtic throw-in, which Tierney bowls back to Scales.
Chiga gives me the jitters at times. I mean, there's been that one thumped at him with Suter, but that one was a nice pass, and it come off both his feet, and Hatate was nearly on it, and he's just got to make sure his touch is pure, the pass is pure, and just keep things really simple.
There's Carter Vickers, everyone bar Kasper Schmeichel in the Rangers half right now. Rolled out to Nygren. Ngoma does enough as Nygren has to come back the way to Engels, who just slashed at it, smashed it towards the box. Rangers get it back, but they've given it away. Double quick time. Engels has it now. Nygren attacking the Rangers penalty area, breaks off Barron, breaks out to Ralston. His ball takes a deflection on its way through, and Jack Butland holds on. We've played a quarter here, in fact, just gone over the quarter mark. Remains 0-0.
I'm looking at two centre halves there. They don't really want to, do they? Butland's got it in his hands. He's now being forced to kick long again.
Sutton will take it. He'll take it and wrap it through the lines if he gets quick enough, gets a bit of space, but sometimes it looks uncomfortable.
Rangers have it with Ngoma down this left-hand side. What about the cross? Instead he plays it back to Diamonde. Hear the groans from the Rangers supporters. In from Diamonde, headed away by Scales. Diamonde will let it go out for a throw into Rangers on this near side. Pulls it infield to Barron. Back to Diamonde. Will then chip it back to Giga. He steps out to that right-hand side. Driving forwards. Evades the challenge of Maida. And it's with Gassama, who hauled Maida to the deck. And the referee didn't like it. Celtic have a free kick on what's become an extremely scrappy affair.
Very scrappy today. Tierney's down injured.
Yeah, Giga, I just, what was my words to you a minute ago? Just keep it nice and simple. Pure touch, nice and simple pass. But he goes off in one again and overruns it and then just smashes into Kieran Tierney. He picks up a sore one. Celtic get a free kick. It's a bit of realise the occasion. Just keep it simple, big man, and you'll do fine.
Tierney's okay. In fact, he's over the free kick, but now he's going to roll it back the way to Scales. And to Schmeichel at the edge of his box. Plays it short to his right for Carter Vickers, who'll a side foot pass into the centre circle for Maida. First time, loopy ball out to this near side, but Ngoma gets it away ahead of Nygren. One back by Engels to Nygren on the right, back to Ralston, and then into his own half. He sweeps it to Carter Vickers. He steps away from Miovski. Still it's Carter Vickers driving forward. He's away from Miovski. He's up towards the edge of the box. Miovski eventually gets the challenge. He wanted too long to the centre back. He's now out of position. Mikey Moore for Rangers. Switches it out to the right for Tavernier. Forward towards Barron, who shifts it back to Tavernier. And then to the left of the centre circle for Suter as Rangers try and find a way through here. Right wide left, Ngoma. Nygren with the challenge. Out for a Rangers throw-in. Level with the edge of the D of the Celtic box. On the main stand side here. Ngoma is over it. Which one of these sides will seize the initiative? I think there's only been the 1-0 draw since these two renewed acquaintance back in 2014 in that League Cup semi. Let's move towards the edge of the box. Moore goes down, Celtic clear. Giga with Maida all over him as well. Finds Suter. Suter's ball out to the far side. Gassama goes after it, and he's on it now. Up against Tierney. Rolls it back into his own half for Tavernier, and then to Giga, and he's back to Butland. 26 played, Rangers 0, Celtic 0. Here on Sportsound, BBC Radio Scotland, across the frequencies, online and on digital. Live from Glasgow, Rangers Celtic crossing swords for the first time this season. They're coming into it in the worst possible frame of mind, both of them, after their Champions League disappointments. Billy Dodd.
It's definitely playing out in the game what you've just said. You can see that there's a bit of, it's a nervous affair anyway, playing an Old Firm game, but when they come into it in the back of poor losses, you can see they're nervous, they're tense. It's not a great spectacle. You would think it's got to improve as the game settles down, but it hasn't done that yet.
Celtic have beaten St Mirren, Aberdeen and Livingston. Rangers those draws against Motherwell, Dundee and the Paisley Saints. As Rangers pick up a free kick in the middle of the park there.
Yeah,
the challenge.
Celtic get the ball at the back, fine. They're looking for a penetrating pass. Maeda comes all the way in, about 20-30 yards into his own half, but there's no the wide players or even the midfielder isn't occupying his space that he's left to give another option. The ball's played into his feet, he ends up losing it, and now they're under pressure.
That's what happens when they used to do that drop the striker, then Kuhn would take off or Yacht would take off. They've not got that kind of personnel today. So you get to see the best of Balakishwa. Well, it's his debut, we know that, but Nygren's never going to do that.
Rangers with Tavernier with a free kick, right-footed, chipped into the box, headed away by Carter Vickers. Balakishwa beats Gisama to it on the far side. Tavernier's cushion header to Barron. Now Tavernier chases right hand side of the box. Across it comes and behind it goes. Corner.
Yeah, good play. Obviously Tavernier getting in that sort of byline and getting our Scales doing again really good job at a near post, picked up a really good position, had to go to ground to make a contact, but it's another corner for Rangers, and these set pieces of course is not a thing the Celtic like defending.
Barron, outswinger, right-footed. Govan stands side as Rangers attack the Broomloan Road end, and it comes headed away by Maeda. Oscar heads it back towards the penalty spot where it's nodded clear by Engels. Engels might get back onto it himself here, and goes back to Schmeichel, who clears with the right foot, who wallops it forward high into the Rangers half. Comes off the head of Giga, heads it away. Nygren heads it back the way. Giga heads it back towards the halfway line. Engels with a header. Diamonde scoops it forward to a foul, and Oscar go right in front of the referee Robertson, and that will be a free kick to Rangers as we approach the half hour at 0-0.
Yeah, such a scrappy game at the moment. There's been really no quality in this first half from either team, even though they've worked hard. There's not that's a typical Celtic Rangers game, but you're looking for the quality and it's not there at the moment.
Yeah, either side. Just wonder how long this malaise goes on, if the new signings pick up with their hearts and heads, might fancy a little go at the top two this season. See how Aberdeen do in the window as well. Of course, the transfer window closes tomorrow. Difficult, obviously, for the clubs outside of these two to sustain it over the course of a season. The Edinburgh sides have made positive starts to their campaigns. And Suter, a long high ball out to the far side. Gisama controls well. Up against Tierney. Level the penalty spot, drops the shoulder, back onto his right side, crosses in, it bounces off Miovski's chest, and it breaks to Kasper Schmeichel, and it will stay Rangers 0, Celtic 0.
A half an hour gone, Rangers are still the better team. They're the one team that are really forcing it. Celtic are like, as if they're just trying to get through to half time, maybe take any chances that come their way, maybe in the counter attack, but Rangers are forcing, but they can't really create a real opportunity.
Profile of Nygren despite Brendan Rodgers with his arms outstretched, appealing for it. Miovski wins the ball back off Engels, who's had a poor start to the season. Arne Engels, Celtic's record signing.
He's got to move the ball quickly to get caught earlier on by just taking too many touches.
There's Moore taking on Nygren, driving down the left-hand side. Ralston's out here too. Moore trying to keep this going. Ralston, though, it's back onto it at the byline, clears. Suter wins the header ahead of Maeda and finds Tavernier. Now Giga. The Rangers supporters sense that Celtic are there for the taking right now. Here's Diamonde through to Oscar. Tried to feed it out to Megoma on the near side. Ralston with the challenge. The referee didn't like it. He was tackling while sitting on the ground. And that's going to be a Rangers free kick in an attacking position.
Yeah, listen, that's a kind of outlawed. You're on the ground and that you can't do that, so it gives Rangers another opportunity to put this ball into the box. This time it's a good angle, and obviously Tavernier's come over here onto this side to play it in.
Right-footed delivery coming up from James Tavernier. He and Callum McGregor, the most experienced players on the pitch of this fixture. It's Tavernier, right-footed, bends it in. Schmeichel thought about it, and it's ended up in the net! The goalkeeper came, didn't get there! It might have come off a Celtic head. Moore celebrates! But the bottom line is that Rangers have taken the lead here against the champions. Celtic appealing, Rangers celebrating. Rangers 1, Celtic 0.
They're having having a look at something, but Celtic are all at sea. They've been kind of hanging on this half. That's the feeling you get, Pat. It's a quality ball in. It looks as if it's an own goal, but they're really just trying to manage their way through the game. Celtic have been caught with a free kick and they're down 1-0.
Okay, yeah, but that was a brilliant ball, and I've got to say, it's that ball from Tavernier just nicely whipped into
They're drawing lines. They're drawing the lines for offside.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of them where the goalkeeper is really struggling to come. Maybe the starting position is a little bit deep where he comes. He's no man's land. And then the rest of them just piling on top. I think of Scales and Cardiff.
Suter got the touch. Suter got the final touch on that. So it's a Suter goal if this stands.
It was brave then because there was plenty of bodies. As you say, Pat, he stays in his line a lot, Schmeichel. He doesn't let you leave it.
He's not the biggest. He's not the biggest. He's not. If you've got to come, you've got to be brave. You've got to put your fist on it. You're not going to catch that ball.
Especially in these games.
Yeah, so he's come. This time he's made up his mind to come, but he was never getting there.
And Scales is down, injured. Decision imminent here.
Yeah, there was
this goal's not going to stand. The goal's going to be disallowed here. John Robertson's going to have to disallow the goal, and the Rangers supporters are going to be furious any second now. Celtic have got away with one. It is no goal, and it stays Rangers 0, Celtic 0.
Yeah.
Suter's header does not stand.
Yeah, they've got away with that, Celtic. Obviously you're offside, and you know that's what VAR's there for. To clear that up, but from a point of view of the ball in, Celtic trying to deal with it, and Suter, obviously the strength of Suter coming in, 2 or 3 bodies in on top of that Celtic defence. The goalkeeper probably will be relieved. I've put it that way.
If Celtic, I'm surprised they've not played with real pace up front. I know Balakrisha might be quick, my head is certainly a flying machine. We looked at analysis when we were looking at them, and they always, when we're building, they always kept too high and wide because of those runs they could do.
Inside
and it gave
runs.
you all sorts of problems if you're trying to get a squeeze on them. And they've not got that today, and I think Rangers know that. They can squeeze and they don't have to worry too much about those dark runs through, especially from wide players. I'm surprised that Forrest hasn't started today, I've got to say.
Yeah,
but they're also kind of neutered on this side by the absence of Alistair Johnston, aren't they?
That's another.
As well as
just
you mentioned
the quality.
Yeah.
Ralston looks as if I just want to defend first. He's not enjoying the game. You can see Brendan Rodgers having a little bite at him. To me, it was McGregor's fault. He wanted him to step on, I understand that, but McGregor fizzed the ball far too quickly, and he had a bite at Ralston. I think he set him back.
Yeah. Yeah, and
the other point, sorry, Liam, the other point is if Maeda's playing out on the left-hand side, he's a real threat for that. You know, I don't see, Balakrisha, has he got that real press? Does he even have the know-how to run in behind from that wide? Negrin will never do it on this side here, you know. And you can read him, he hasn't got a pace.
Balakrisha looks quick, but he's never really tested Tavernier. There's a couple of times I thought, oh, he can shift, but he's not been direct, got it down and say, I'm getting at you.
Game back on here, and Scales is back on the pitch as well. That free kick for offside is right on the 18-yard line. It came from the goal, it was disallowed. Moore goes down, no free kick. Celtic have it with Engels on this near side. Challenging back is Moore, breaks to Nygren though. One back by Mikoma. Forward to Diamonde, goes down, fouled by Ralston. Free kick Rangers on the near side. Celtic would be probably best served just trying to see this through until half-time and regroup, because Rangers are swarming all over them. There's 9 minutes left of this first half. It is still goalless, but they can't live with Rangers at the moment.
Yeah, just a point. I was looking at Maeda up front. Giga had his arms around him, holding him when the ball's out on this right-hand side. He knows the threat in behind, and that was a way of stopping him. Now, obviously, nobody picked it up because the game's out on this right-hand side, but oh my word, it was just hold him, don't let him run.
There's nothing to spook Rangers. I told you we pressed them, Celtic, and they were doing well, but you always see something happen there. They got a break, and it absolutely spooked us and the players on the pitch, and that's not happened. Just what we were touching on, there's been nothing happen where you go, oh, we could get caught here. Rangers are comfortable, that back line.
So your old pal Hamza Igaman scored a double in his debut for...
Yeah, I was talking to Tom English about it, yes.
It will be a Rangers free kick. Of course, Igaman scored the winner at Celtic Park for...
0-0 at half-time, 7-0 finish when he came on.
Yeah. free kick Rangers then. Tavernier to take over on the far side touchline, midway inside the Celtic half. Into the box it comes. McGregor throws up his left boot and gets it away. Diamonde heads it into the box, away by Tierney on the penalty spot. And it is collected by Makoma. Infield to Barron, who goes back to Butland. 37.5 on the clock, no goals. Suter's header, which found the net, ruled out for offside after the lines were drawn. Schmeichel comes a long way from his box, right-hand side, and clears. Suter wins the header, and out it goes for a throw-in on this near side to Celtic, which Ralston's going to take. It has been a difficult first half for the Scotland international, who you would think will be hoping to keep his place in the Scotland team despite the return to fitness of Aaron Hickey. He's clearly going to be the long-term right-back for Scotland, but has he played enough to start in the Parken against Denmark on Friday night? We'll wait and see. Barron goes back to Giga, and then Barron's not a good touch, but he's enough to get back onto it. Pass it back to Butland, who clears long high ball into the Celtic half. Carter Vickers heads it forward to the Rangers half. Now Balikwisha, nice touch away from Tavernier, having got it from Atate, gets it into the box, but it can't find Maida or Nygren, and out it goes for a throw-in on the near side. This is a Celtic team, and there are new players in there. This Celtic last season averaged 3 goals a game across the entire campaign, across all competition. They just don't look anywhere near as threatening as they were last term.
No, they're not. And, you know, Balikwisha there, first time he's really got in behind what obviously Tavernier's kind of slipping. And he elected to cross the ball, just drive on, use that pace that you were talking about, Billy, and then create a problem for the centre half to come to him, to steal my man, but he just elected to play it into the middle, and there was to nobody.
Yeah, and Scales has just put it straight out for a Rangers throw-in.
Celtic are there to be had, but it's whether Rangers can capitalise on that and get goals that will kill them off.
The Celtic manager's normally the calmest man you'll ever see. He was once again, he had his head in his hands there when that ball went out of play from Liam Scales. Throw in Rangers. Tavernier, it's a really long one towards the goal. It's headed away by Scales, picked up by Tavernier, level with the penalty spot, looking for Gassama down that right hand side. It's on the byline. Hatate for company, rolls it back to Tavernier on his right and on his left, and then back to Barron. Barron challenged by Maida, and Maida throwing himself into the tackle on the far side. He's emerged with it. The whistle goes. It's gone Rangers' way. On the touchline.
I thought it was a foul there, because I'm sure he stopped. It's been there's this, as I said, phases of the game where
he's got a bang
15
in the face.
minutes it's crazy, usually settles down. Never seen one so scrappy for this long.
No, so I think Maida's got that's why he stopped. He got a bang in the face, and he's now got treatment.
There's blood coming from his mouth, apparently.
Yeah.
It's on the opposite side of the pitch from where we are. We do not have monitors in front of us, unfortunately, so the guys aren't able to see any replays, or if it's happening at the other side of the pitch, then we've got to rely on the information coming from elsewhere. But into the final 5 minutes of the first half, there'll be a good few added on because of injury stoppages, because of the VAR check for the Suter goal that didn't stand.
Yeah, just talking about he's just offside. I just seen a picture of it there, but just from Tavernier being in the team or not in the team, the quality of the ball in is worth him even being in the team. I know sometimes he gets criticised for his defending and so on, but ultimately that's where Rangers' strength is. We talked about before, what is the strengths? Balls into the box from set pieces, strength in the air, and that's he's got to be in a team for that, Billy.
Agreed. I just think when you get players in, they've got to be better than what's already there. And up till now, and I'm not saying it won't get better, but up until now I don't see where there's been an upgrade.
So Rangers fans aren't happy because of the treatment for Maida. I think they want him off the pitch to get this fixed up, and that's what's going to happen now. The referee just telling Maida and the Celtic medics to get off the playing surface.
Critical time, 4 or 5 minutes before. I know there'll be probably some extra time, but critical time in any match.
3 or 4 minutes added on, I think. Tavernier right-footed free kick from the edge of the box, and it comes, it's bouncing around, and eventually it bobbles behind for another corner. Rangers keep the pressure on. Far and away Rangers' best league performance of the season. Still in its relative infancy, of course.
Yeah, not from play in general, but the way they've gone about it, the aggression they've shown, they've got into the faces of Celtic high up the pitch. They've created numerous corners, set pieces.
Corner will be taken by Barron. Well, despite all that, it doesn't feel like it. Celtic have had 62% of the ball at this moment, approaching 43 minutes. It's felt like Rangers have had more of it as it comes in from the corner from Barron, away by McGregor. Breaks towards the penalty spot and able to bundle it away. Celtic through Arne Engels on the far side, and it's off Maidan out for a throw-in over there to Rangers. And Celtic need to wake up here. They've dodged a bullet, obviously. But they've had the vast majority of this game is being played in their own half. And Tavernier will take another long throw-in into the Celtic box, and it comes away by Carter Vickers. Barron heads it back towards the Celtic box, where it breaks to Nygren, who looks to spring the Rangers defence here. Maida, Balikwisha chase, but Butland read the danger, comes a long way from his goal and boots it clear. It's going to bounce all the way through to Schmeichel, and it will stay Rangers 0, Celtic 0.
Yeah, it was important. Obviously, he picked up a good position. Butland, edge of his box, just read the situation, kept his eye on it, and played it along.
Challenged by Moore, and Ralston is out for a Rangers throw. It might well have gone the other way. Anyway, Moore to Diamonde, back out to Moore, left-hand side, level with the Celtic penalty spot. Rangers smell blood here. Nkoma's cross, poor, headed away by McGregor. Nygren helps it away.
Ralston looks like a rabbit in the headlights at times. He's not even opening up to see runs behind him, and that Nkoma's not his man. He's lucky there as well.
Schmeichel comes to claim at the feet of Nkoma and Miovski after the slip by Carter Vickers, and it went through him. He's fortunate that there wasn't a blue jersey onto it. Schmeichel pulls it forward there to Ralston, and then to Engels, long ball, Balikwisha, Tavernier goes down, the whistle goes, and Rangers have a free kick. Balikwisha asking what the problem was. Don Robertson says it was a foul by he and Tavernier. We are in the 45th minute, and there will be 4 minutes added on.
Wrong choice in pass, Pat, eh?
No, I think it was the wrong decision. He had a simpler pass out to the right-hand side here for Nygren, and they had players high up the pitch. It was a good throw out from Schmeichel, I've got to say, to pick him out in an area where there was nobody on him in the middle of the pitch, but then the decision from him was poor.
Long ball from Butland, Scales is underneath it, heads it clear. Moore flicks it on, looking for Miovski. It's headed away by Carter Vickers, then it's Barron. Barron heads it out to this left-hand side for Diamonde. He's away from Nygren, and across it comes, cleared by Carter Vickers. He escaped the first defender, he was Ralston. It went into that corridor between the keeper and his defence, but there's nobody in a blue shirt able to stick the foot on it. And it's cleared by Arne Engels. Bouncing ball, Suter will head it back to Jack Butland. There can be no underestimating how important these next few games are for Rangers. They've got Hearts after the international break, then it's Hibs here in the League Cup. Massive games. When you put this one into that bundle, they've got to emerge from that unscathed to get their season back on track here. It's come off the track so very early in the campaign. Diamonde comes down the left, and it breaks to Ralston, who turns it infield to Carter Vickers inside his own box.
There's a prime example of Nygren out in the right-hand side, and just Diamonde just read it like it, used the line, knew that he was going to come inside, and just easily defended against him.
Oscar is fouled by Maida. A free kick to Rangers here, left of the centre circle, in the Celtic half.
Yeah, they need the half-time whistle, Celtic, there's no doubt. Not the Rangers they've got the offside goal, and they've had a couple of little chances, but they've pressurised them, they've forced the game to them, and they just need to get in, regroup. Celtic, Rangers deserve to be in front, but they've not got that all-important lead.
Brendan Rodgers is telling his players to keep their concentration. The free kick's worked out to the left to Moore, whose cross comes in. It's too close to Schmeichel, who will pull it out quickly to Kieran Tierney over there, challenged by Gisana. Tierney has it again though, as he rolls it back to Scales, in the field to McGregor, and then roll it to his right for Ralston, out to Nygren on this near side. Scored twice last week, Nygren against Livingston as Engels goes down. He thinks he was tripped, the referee disagrees. And the Rangers fans boo him for diving. Diamonde finds Suter midway inside his own half on the Rangers left.
I thought it was a foul. Don Robinson just wasn't looking at it.
It's kind of the way he went down. It was strange, but it did look that he had been impeded anyway. Play goes on, and it's Suter for Rangers, and he rolls it back to Tavernier inside his own box. Right hand side of it, out to the right for Osgaard. Infield to Tavernier, clips it forward, looking for Gassama, turns it to Barron, the challenge from Tierney, and it breaks favourably for McGregor. Goes back to Hatate, who in turn goes all the way back to Schmeichel. We played almost 3 of the 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half here. Rangers 0, Celtic 0. Engels for McGregor, much needed possession for Celtic this. Hatate back to Scales and out to that left hand side for Tierney. And then move it into Scales. Back to Kieran Tierney, who goes all the way back to Schmeichel. Just a bit too pedestrian from a Celtic point of view, Packy.
I just can't see
needs to change.
How they're going to score goals today, Celtic, from that perspective. That's a mistake maybe from a Rangers player at the back.
Proven capable of that, the Rangers players this season. Brilliant long ball switched out to the left here for Balikwisha for Celtic, who are high up the pitch. Back to Tierney, left foot cross, it's off Tavernier. Breaks to Moore at the edge of the penalty box, and then he flicks it forward, but the referee stopped play because Rangers have a man down inside their own penalty area. It might well be Diamonde who's
he was tracking Engels, Liam, and I thought it was he played it cute, Mo Diamonde, because Engels had got a little half yard on him and he went down, and then obviously Engels has landed on top of him. Brilliant balls, you said, by Carter Vickers, but Celtic aren't functioning. They've not got their full backs forward all day.
Half-time at Ibrox, no goals, and not a brilliant football match in all honesty, but what has been played, it's been played better by Rangers off the back of their 6-0 humbling in Brugge on Wednesday evening. It's been much better from them today. They have been at it. Not too many saves for Kasper Schmeichel to make. John Suter had the ball in the net though. He was ruled out for offside after the VAR check, that coming on 33 minutes. Precious little for Schmeichel and Butland to do either side of that, in all honesty. Miovski's been relatively quiet after a start which you could clearly tell he was trying to make an impression early on. Balikwisha struggled to get into the game as well. Indeed, Celtic have struggled to get into the game, and given the weeks that these two have had, it is no surprise that the half-time scoreline here at Ibrox Stadium is Rangers 0, Celtic 0.
The Old Firm Derby.
Live on Sports Sound.
Look again!
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland. We've gathered together for generations.
They're the kind of supporters who'll follow their team anywhere in the world.
With every hope.
The Tartan Army celebrate! Jordan, and it's a goal! McFadden going for goal! The stuff of dreams for Scotland!
Flags flying, pipes playing, hearts pounding. And now, the next chapter begins.
Comes back to McTominay, goal!
Belief lives here. The road to the World Cup. Oh, it's brilliant! Catch Denmark versus Scotland on Friday night. Watch on iPlayer or ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Scotland Extra.
Well, you can watch it on Sportscene. You can also listen to it on Sportsound. Friday night, World Cup qualifier. The campaign gets up and running. Denmark against Scotland. We are 45 minutes into the first Rangers-Celtic encounter of season 25-26. I think the main hope, Tom English, for all of us is that things can only get better. That's been dire for the large part, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been dreadful. The lack of technique, the lack of control, the lack of accuracy has really kind of followed on from their European exits. No wonder they're out of the Champions League, because technically both these teams are very, very poor right now. In terms of aggression, in terms of being up for the fight, Rangers are way ahead of Celtic. Like, Celtic haven't had a shot. They're, as an attacking team, they haven't existed in this match. That's 210 minutes against Kairat Almaty without a goal, and another 45 minutes here. So their attacking game has collapsed around their ears. Rangers are kind of, I know the possession, kind of disregard this possession because the evidence of our own eyes is that Rangers.
Yeah, it's like 57% Celtic.
Yeah, mad. It's
but
mad,
it's what you do with it. And
it's what you do with it, exactly.
They've done nothing.
They've done
absolutely nothing.
They haven't had a shot. Not to mind a shot on target. They haven't had a shot on goal, which is kind of feeble. Rangers, a lot of huff and puff, a lot of endeavour, a lot of aggression. Miofsky, I think, has robbed. Gone back into defence and robbed Carter Vickers. He's robbed Engels of possession, working very hard. Barron working very hard. Mikey Moore working very hard. Diamande the same. So there's a lot of kind of grunt from Rangers. They're the better team. They look like they want it more than Celtic, but there's precious little inspiration or quality out there.
It was an aggressive start by Rangers, first 10, 15 minutes. And then Celtic had a spell there for 10 or 15 minutes where they settled things down. You expected them, that was where they got the bulk of their possession, I think, during that spell there. And you expected them to start to move on, but they've been so passive, haven't they? And it's allowed Rangers to then re-engage and to re-grip on the game as well.
They've no control over it. I mean, McGregor, a million times in his fixtures had total control over it, but Asgard is sitting on it, and he's hustling and harrying McGregor, and McGregor's given the ball away a few times. A lot of the Celtic players have given the ball away. It's a kind of repeat of what we saw from them midweek. There's no kind of composure in their game whatsoever, because Rangers are going at them hard, and Rangers are working very, very hard. And we speculated all week and all the season so far about Russell Martin and as he lost the dressing room and stuff. That first half performance would indicate that he has not lost the dressing room, because these Rangers players are working extremely hard, working really, really hard, covering a lot of ground, tracking back. Miofsky, you know, he has a presence about him, and his presence in this game is not as a potential goal threat, but it's in terms of his work rate and his aggression in that. He has upset Scales and he's upset Carter Vickers, but there's no end product to it so far for either of them. But Rangers should be feeling better about themselves right now than Celtic, because Celtic they've been nothing. They've put nothing into this game so far.
Rangers thought they did have the end product. 33rd minute, free kick whipped in by James Tavernier. And I mean, there's a whole cluster of bodies there, but it is John Sudo who clearly gets his head to it. The ball's in the net. Celebrations around much of Ibrox Stadium, but then of course we always have the weight these days, Tom, when it comes to the top flight. And sadly for Rangers, and indeed for John Suter, he was I assume you've seen the freeze frame. He's clearly offside.
He's offside, and it's a disappointment for Rangers, but it's also a kind of put a little bit of a pep in their step that, you know, they've put the ball in the net. Okay, it's disallowed, but they've put Celtic in a bit of disarray. Schmeichel has come off his line and flapped at it, and it's ended up in their net. It hasn't counted, but it just shows that Celtic are vulnerable back there.
I want to get Pat's thoughts on that, because you actually haven't seen the replay, I don't think, Pat. He is clearly offside, John Suter, but Tom talked about Schmeichel flapping. He doesn't even get to flapping stage.
No.
He waits, he advances 3-4 yards, and then he stops in no man's land. I mean, it's a terrible piece of goalkeeping.
Yeah, he decides to come. That's the first thing. But his starting point is probably not at a point where, you know, that he's going to command that space. He's almost, I have to come, almost, and saying, I'm going to dictate here. I'm going to be the best. That ball's played in to that area with a bit of height at all. I'm the one that's going to get to the ball first. And when he gets to it, but he never gets to it. No. That's the point, because the starting point.
Does he not try and stick his arm out? Or have I
as I say, he came forward 3 or 4 steps. He's
he knows
in no man's
hand.
He puts both our hands out to try and make himself bigger, but I mean, it was one of those, actually. I appreciate what you were saying, Pat, but if he stays in the line, he makes a comfortable save, probably.
Does he or does he not? That's the question for a goalkeeper. So. That's the decision you've got to make. I think it's all about. I don't think he's that type of goalkeeper anyway that comes and commands his box from centre. So he's always going to be under severe pressure. He's not the biggest. He's not like his dad, where he was 6'4" and he would come. He's probably maybe a 6'1" type of goalkeeper. So that space is always going to be vulnerable. You're relying probably on Scales much more than anybody else, and the skills of some decent headers in there. He was under pressure because you've got 3-4 players coming in top of you. You've got to try to win your one player to try to win the ball. So you need your goalkeeper to be strong and be able to come and command that space. And if he can't do it, that's where you're vulnerable. And I don't think he's that type of goalkeeper from that perspective.
Well, he certainly wasn't under those circumstances. VAR also called into action very early. There was a scales challenge on Miovski. It was I think they clearly got it right. There was no penalty there. There was contact, but you're allowed contact. It wasn't illegal contact, and Miovski made sure that he threw himself to the ground. So the referee and VAR in agreement there. No penalty for that one. Billy Dodds, of the two managers, Russell Martin is certainly going to be happier with what he's seen thus far.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, he's got a response from his players. I think this fixture looks after itself in terms of you can't show a bad attitude in this fixture. The fans will be on you, especially when you're at home. And they've had a real reaction. They've not played brilliantly, but they have been up for the fight, and they've won most of the battles in the midfield, especially through that first 15 minutes. Then, as you said, it's settled, Richard, for the second 15. But Celtic have clung on, and this game is about how Rangers have handled it mentally to really do well, physically and mentally. And Celtic haven't functioned, and I've been surprised with Celtic because you've got to get in the mindset of I've been in games when Celtic, you get after them, you try and press them, but you're always cautious, say what's at the back, and they give you a spook, as I said in commentary, and that is like a Jota run or a Kuhn run or a Maeda run from a wide area. They've not got that today. Or a fullback joining in with them, Alistair Johnston or Greg Taylor when he joined in. You were always wary of it. I don't think Rangers have to be wary of anything today. There's no threat in attack, which is it's a get out of jail free card for Rangers. I think I'm so surprised James Forrest hasn't started this game just for the threat rather than
they've got nothing out wide. I mean, as you've been saying, Nygren cuts inside every time he gets the ball. The new signing Balikwisha is still, a novice.
He's made no impact at all.
No impact. You look at it, at some of the stats. Total clearances: Rangers 6, Celtic 36. 36 clearances. Not to mind having no shot on target, no shot on goal, no shot on target. Celtic haven't even had a corner, and they've had 3 touches in Rangers' box. 3. Now Rangers have only had 6 touches in Celtic's box. Shows you the overall kind of state of things. But 3 touches.
But normally Tom, Celtic pin teams back. Good possession. They're playing in their own half. They're not playing in the opposition half today because they're not being allowed to do. That's one thing. But going back to the 2, I can't believe, Billy's already touched on it. James Forrest on the bench. Yang's on the bench. You bring a new player in and he's only in the door. You've no time to work on him. He goes into a huge game. It's a huge game for Celtic and for Rangers. But Celtic, it's a huge game to get a result here today. And he's playing on the left-hand side. And you can see that he's trying to find his way in. James Tavernier must be delighted. Must be absolutely delighted that he's not up against Maeda. Only
from a player's perspective and a coach's perspective, you're always like, you've got to watch that. Especially whoever was playing for Celtic up front came short. Then if they laid it off to a midfielder, you knew one of the midfielders was taking off, or one of the wide players was just running in where the striker was. They have had no threat today. They can't do those runs, and Rangers at the back have got the cigars out.
And Billy, that's been evident. Sorry, Richard, that's been evident not just in this game. It was evident in 2 European games, and it was evident for me at times against even Livingston in the games that I've watched so far. That's something that's down to Brendan, his staff, and the players to get right.
Well, they're going to have to find something. One of our stats boffins at the BBC has come up with this incredible stat. It is the first time since November 2017 against Ross County that Celtic have gone through a half of football without a single shot at goal. Not just a shot on target, a single shot on goal. So you're talking almost 8 years.
And Richard, you can't blame the board for that. You can blame maybe that you might not have a quality, but there's other players there.
You can blame everybody, Pat. This is Glasgow. Everyone gets to blame.
but you know what I mean. But it's ridiculous.
What we have to wait to see is if Brendan Rodgers he tries to change things now. But I think what has, if anything else, this first half has absolutely backed up what he was saying earlier, that they needed a number of players in the forward areas, needed speed and unpredictability, because they've had nothing in that final third.
And that's fine, Richard, and he does need new players, but he's not getting enough out of the players that he has.
No, he's not. No.
You know, so Brendan Rodgers does not get a pass because these performances are substandard. Yes, he needs reinforcements. Yes, he needs a centre forward. Yes, he needs another wide player, particularly on the right hand side, and possibly needs 2 more wide players. He needs.
But he has 2 on the bench.
Yeah, Yang isn't. I don't think he's good enough. No. Forrest, yes, I definitely agree with you on Forrest. I don't think Yang is up to it.
We'll see if James Forrest comes on for that second half. From Russell Martin's point of view, from Rangers' point of view, Billy, it's, I guess, more of the same, but with more of a cutting edge.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to go out and play great football and create loads, but what I do think is, from free kicks or corners, go and get your head on something and go and win it. I think if Rangers score first here, there's no way back for Celtic. I just don't see them having the cutting edge to go and change it. Not unless Brendan Rodgers. I would do the change now. I would bring, even if Yang's not good enough, he's still that threat.
Absolutely.
You're still wary of him, and just take off one of the central midfielders, and maybe put Nygren in there, and then take off Hatate, who's been non-existent, or Engels. Just take them off, put Nygren in there, and put a wide man on. I think it'll give Celtic more options, Rich. But Rangers, same again, and make sure they take a chance.
Remember, it's a 2 o'clock kick-off in the City of Discovery as Dundee take on Dundee United. We'll have the first half of that game live on FM Sounds and online, and we'll have the second half live across all the frequencies because of the scheduling. And that one, of course, the first game live on Sky, second one live on Premier. They haven't left much time in between, so there'll be plenty to mop up off the back of the first game. So the first half of Dundee United live on FM Sounds and online, the second half live right across all the frequencies, and then we'll be across Aberdeen against Falkirk, Hibernian against St Mirren. And when it's all done and dusted, you can settle down this evening and enjoy the highlights on Sports Scene 7:15 on the BBC Scotland channel. I'll also keep an eye on the SWPL action this afternoon, the big game which will be live streamed on the BBC Sports Scotland website. Rangers against Hearts is a 4 o'clock kickoff. SWPL highlights tomorrow night, 7:30 on BBC Scotland channel, and also look out online, and it's a great package that the guys do. The SPFL lower league highlights, all the best of the action from the Championship Leagues 1 and 2, and of course the Scottish Football Daily podcast is published Monday to Friday. You can pick it up wherever you get your podcasts. And looking ahead to next Friday night, the World Cup qualifier, the campaign gets up and running. Denmark against Scotland, live on Sports Scene on BBC 2, and live, of course, here on Sports Sound and BBC Radio Scotland. The teams are back out. It is Rangers 0, Celtic 0 at half-time. Pat Bonner, Billy Dodds and Liam McLeod.
Thank you. Just waiting to see if there are any changes for either team. Doesn't look like it. Looks like Celtic are going with the same 11 that started the match. Rangers likewise. Less reason for them to change anything, I suppose, given what we saw in the opening 45 plus 4. It will be Rangers who kick off left to right towards the Copeland Road end. Blue shirts, white shorts, black socks with a red top. Celtic in the green and white and blue jerseys. White shorts, white socks. We'll shoot towards the Broom Loan. Given what we heard at half-time there, they didn't shoot once at the Copeland Road end in that first half. Brendan Rodgers will be furious with what he watched as Rangers kick off second half. When it's Miovski back to Osgaard. Long ball looking for Gassama. Tierney will try and shepherd it behind, which he does. With the match poised at 0-0. It is Butland in goal for Rangers. Tavernier, Giga, Suter, Megoma, Diamonde, Barron, Osgaard with Moore and Gassama supporting Miovski. Celtic with Schmeichel in goal. Ralston, Carter, Vickers, Scales and Tierney. Engels, McGregor, Hatate, Nygren, Maida, Belikwisha. It is Rangers on the ball with Tavernier here, long down the right-hand side. Tierney got his eyes on it here. Gassama trying to flick it onwards. Tierney recovers and passes it back into his own box for Scales to Tierney, flicked on by Hatate. Belikwisha to Hatate, forward to Maida. Looking to get it into the path of Engels. Well, played in the end by Diamonde. Wins the free kick, drew the foul from Arne Engels. And it will be a Rangers free kick. It's like the surprise, Packy, that there's not a change in personnel at the start of the second half for Celtic.
I think it'll come. It has to come. Obviously, he's got in at half-time, and he's obviously tried to sort a few things out and maybe give some direction to the players out there. They won't change the way they play, of course. They'll try to get a ball down, but it's that pace and that, just what we described at half-time, is missing up front for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the bench fairly quickly if he doesn't see any change.
Sinisalo's the sub-goalie, Yang, McCowan, Yamada, Bernardo, Sarachi, Murray, Forrest, Donovan. Rangers of Kelly's the sub-goalie, Aarons, Rothwell, Dessers, Bairami, Antman, Fernandez, Curtis, Danilo. Rangers have it. It's a long-range effort from Moore, which was high over the crossbar. Ralston falls to the ground, and it'll be a goal kick, and Ralston, look, he might have been injured there. He's back on his feet now. It was a tough 45 minutes for him in that first half, as Scales rolls it out to Tierney on the near side. Up the line by Laquisha with the dummy, but there's only Sajiga behind him. And turn it all the way back to his goalkeeper, Butland. No real centre forward on the bench for Celtic outside of Shin Yamada, who's quite raw given what we've seen from him. No Kenny, no Ida. Rangers have it with Diamonde over on the left. Midway inside the Celtic half. Back it goes to Migoma. Field to Diamonde. Back to Suter. And short ball to the left for Barron. Out onto the touchline. And a chance for Migoma to drive forward. He's done well. Gets the ball across, and it goes just behind Miovski. As he went past Carter Vickers, so the Celtic centre-back delighted that it didn't fall to the North Macedonian.
Yeah, and it's a good start from Rangers again in the second half.
Tati to Engels, then back to Carter Vickers. Short ball to McGregor. Goes back to Schmeichel. Short to the right of the box there for Carter Vickers. 48 on the clock. McGregor to Hatate, back to Scales.
The other thing is that centre-halves now know that they can go all the way with Maeda. They can go right in there. Maeda's dropping off into the Celtic's own half. They know that they can go because there's not going to be a run from any of the wide guys or a midfielder.
Celtic give it away on the near side. It's with Kisama. Plays it infield, right-footed to Barron. Miovski ahead of him. A slight challenge from Engels. It's going to be brought back for a Rangers free kick here. Just look like they've got a little bit extra in the tank, Rangers, this afternoon.
They're growing in confidence too. I can see that in the second half.
Migoma getting away from Nygren. Nygren trying to stay with him. Migoma stabs it back to Barron in the centre part of the pitch to Oscar, then out to Kisama. Just a bit too much on it though. It was out for the Celtic throw-in. Level with the 6-yard line. Which Tierney takes quickly to Hatate. Back to Tierney. Long ball forward, it's Maeda with a touch and can't control, and it's Tavernier to Tiga. He looks lost, Aizen Maeda, right now.
Yeah, I don't. To be honest,
he doesn't look comfortable in that position. No. I know he's played there and he's scored a few goals, but it's from really good build-up playing, and he's busting through and he's running beyond, but hold-up play and he's just not a striker.
Yeah, and where would you love him? You'd love him running.
There's a chance though. Balakisha through for Maeda.
I didn't think that was a free kick.
He's given a free kick for a foul on Oscar on this near side.
Got away with one there.
Yeah, I thought that was a good tackle. But I was just going to say about Maeda, you know, he's going deep. That's where you want him to go. You want him running into your own half. You know, you don't want him running in behind you. That's for sure.
You think of the goals that Celtic scored when Postecoglou was the manager when Rodgers first came back. Hit the byline, pulled across, somebody there to tap it home. Not with the same threats out on the wings to Celtic right now. Tierney wins the throw-in off Kisama on this near side. Midway inside his own half, maybe just a little bit more withdrawn than that. Tierney in field to Hatate, forward towards Maeda. The challenge from Giga's a good one. And it's back onto the halfway line for John Suter. Suter forward to Moore. Good tackle this time by Ralston. Centre of the pitch, turns it out to Balakisha on this near side. The new Celtic number 10. Moore comes back to help out. Balakisha goes down and the referee doesn't give him the free kick. He slaps the turf in frustration. Tavernier takes the throw in infield to Barron. All looked a little bit timid there. And Barron into his own box for Giga. Barron's giving it away. In his defensive third to Balakisha, who finds Engels back to his countryman Balakisha, who is fouled this time. And Celtic have a free kick level with the edge of the D. It's been taken quickly by Engels to Hatate, who digs for goal, and Butland holds on. 51.5 on the clock. Rangers 0, Celtic 0.
The idea was good. The idea was good to take the quick free kick, but the execution, Hatate was very, very poor at the end of it, and he was in a great position.
Lacked belief, didn't it? Lacked the belief that was going to find the net. Balakisha turns it back to Scales.
He's just doing enough in his derby, isn't he, Balakisha? It's just like as if the energy has been sapped out of him, the excitement, the adrenaline is getting to him, as if he's not got that final bit just now.
Carter Vickers being allowed to maraud forward. Infield it comes to Hatate. Surely Celtic cannot be as poor as they were in the first half. At least they've had an effort on target, I suppose. Didn't have a single shot in the first half. Ralston with the cross, right-hand side, headed away by Tavernier. Engels' cushion header goes straight here to Mijovski, who's going to flick it on to Gassama on the right. Gassama now driving across halfway. Bojan Mijovski infield. Osgaard getting up there in support as well. JD Gassama, he's away from Tierney, he's in the box. Smashes it across, it comes off Scales and Schmeichel holds on.
It was good though, it was direct, leaves Tierney for dead and then smashes it. I think it was the right ball because they had one for Celtic to handle because they're busting back at pace to about the 6-yard line, and Mijovski was in there. If it just clears the front man, was it Scales that hit off and Liam?
Scales, yeah,
and it just bounced up there. Celtic got lucky, but I thought it was the right type of ball from Gassama.
Carter Vickers has it. Side football to the right there for Ralston. And that Rangers opportunity coming, Packy, after Celtic had one of their best periods in the match.
Yeah, it was came from I think it was a quick free kick, and goalkeeper picks it up and then the counter attack. But yeah, but that's do you count that as a shot on target? No, not really.
Schmeichel with the long ball forward. It's helped on its way.
It's just not
Engels.
working up front, I can tell you. There is no threat whatsoever at the moment.
I just wonder how much longer Rodgers leaves it. Here's Maida. Skips away from Diamande. Maida knocking it back the way into his own half. Ralston now, then McGregor. Out to Tierney on this near side. John Kennedy's joined Brendan Rodgers at the edge of his technical area.
They have to be thinking about making changes. They've got to. And you know, I'm surprised that I don't know if Johnny Kenny's injured or if he's got something wrong with him today, but he's not even on the bench. Yeah, you've got Yamada, Shinamada. Is that an option? And put Maeda wide.
Well, here's Nygren from distance. And it's ballooned high over the crossbar.
No problem with Nygren coming in the pitch, because that's what he's used to doing, that's what he is. But you need your fullback giving you the width then, and that's not happening. So that's one point. The other one is when it got clipped up to Nygren and he stayed wide and he wanted to head it in the pitch. Maeda, who's not the natural striker, he's the wrong side of the man, because he's got to be over that side when he plays. When Celtic choose to go right, Maeda's got to be over on that side because he's going to get flicked round the corner. They just look all at sea.
Oh, it was a bit dodgy from Schmeichel with Mijovski there. He's managed to get it up on it to get it out to Ralston over on the far side. And it is Scales who has it inside his own box. Now out to Tierney. It's away from Gassama. Goes down. Free kick Celtic on this near side. It is goalless here in the derby in Glasgow. There is a derby in Dundee to come. 2 o'clock kickoff if you're making your way to Dens. The team news: McCracken in goal for Dundee. Wright, Astley, Robertson, Graham and Samuels, Wesley, Jones, Hamilton, Danda and Murray. For United, Kucharenko's the goalie. Iovu, Esseling, Karetsis, Stevenson, Chevy, Kamara, Ferry, Omar Fata on the right, Zach Sapsford on the left, and Ivan Dolcek. So that is the United side, the first Dundee derby of the season. 2 o'clock kickoff follows this one. Here, Rangers 0, Celtic 0. Then 3 o'clock kickoffs at Pittodrie and Easter Road, where Falkirk and St Mirren are the respective visitors.
How many times have we seen actually Kieran Tierney as an outside left today, getting forward, getting into those positions? Seldom.
Once, I think, in the first half.
And that's not what that's not his game. He bombs forward and either picks the ball up high up the pitch at times, or bombs forward and gets crosses into the box. Not happening.
Maida's done well to win it back off Barron. The pass forward's poor, goes straight to Giga. I mean, honestly, the quality in this match, the lack of it, has been there for all to see. Here comes Suter. Right football out to the left-hand side for Mikoma, across the halfway line. Infield Suter on the halfway line. It's a long ball forward, looking for Mijovski, flicked away by Scales and behind for the corner.
That's brilliant.
Mijovski trying to whip up the Rangers fans.
Really good from Suter, because he's got a man chasing him, he's got composure to pass it, then he gets it back and he hits the diagonal. It's nearly on the money. It's brilliant from Scales to get the touch. If not, Mijovski's in.
Rangers corner. They're looking for their first league win of the season. What a time to get it. What an opponent to get it against. It's changed the dynamic, you feel, around the club. Certainly would change the mood. As Tavernier prefers to take. Right-footed, outswinger, in it comes. It's flicked half away and Engels completes the clearance. Balikwisha will chase after it. Diamonde's the covering Rangers player. Balikwisha battling, as too is Diamande. He's done well. It's back to Mikoma, who's back to his goalkeeper, and it's Butland at the edge of his box, turning it out low to this near side for Tavernier. Approaching 58 minutes, 0-0. Long ball forward, headed away by Carter Vickers. Collected by Gisama, surely fouled there by Tierney. No, says the referee. And Tierney had a fistful of Gisama's jersey there. The referee didn't think it was a foul, and Russell Martin speaking to David Dickinson, who's the fourth official. Stays nothing each here, and it's Carter Vickers back to Schmeichel.
Yeah, again, just Celtic, when they get any possession, it's all in their own half. It's all in their own half. Yeah, as if they're just hoping that the game's going to come.
Open up almost.
Whittle down and just get out of here with a draw. Nothing forward.
Balikwisha chasing a Ralston pass. Giga has to be careful, and he gets rid of it. Butland, I think, was wanting to claim that ball, but Giga, remembering he's made several mistakes that have cost goals this season, decided he's not leaving anything to chance this time. You can almost see him thinking about that.
And do the straightforward thing, but Butland didn't help him there. He's kind of caught no man's land.
Balikwisha to Hatate, left foot cross comes in, it's poor. He's beaten everyone. Ralston's going to be able to keep it in play on the right-hand side level with the 18-yard line of the Rangers box. Infield to Engels. Back to Ralston. Steps away from Mikoma, not once but twice, and turns it infield to Engels, edge of the box. Hatate goes for goal. It's a comfortable take for Butland to hold on. There's a little warning for Rangers there that Celtic, they can go through the gears. We know that as we approach the hour mark. It stays 0-0. Tavernier to Osgaard meantime. Rangers coming forward. Dark clouds have descended above here at Ibrox. Barron to Osgaard. His ball out to the left is poor, straight to Nygren. My goodness, how often have we seen unforced errors in this football match this afternoon?
Try to show composure at times, certain players from both teams, and take the touch too many, and you ain't getting that here, because the pace, it's one thing about the pace and the energy of the game, it's kept up. You get no time on the ball.
Yeah, that last chance for Celtic came from a penetrating pass, first penetrating pass, and the first run we've seen from Balikwisha, running through the middle, coming away from his position wide, getting through the middle, and suddenly he's into a position where he threatens the goal.
Balikwisha's preferred role is the one he's in right now, wide left, but he can play through the middle as well. I just wonder if that might be going through the manager's mind as he surely makes changes shortly now that we are beyond the hour mark. Tierney down the line here for the aforementioned Belgian. Back to Tierney, field towards Maida, defended well by Giga on the halfway line. Mijovski goes down, fouled by Scales.
See, Celtic had the set up there, Liam. They had like, Nygren really wide. They had it was Maeda through the middle and Balasika on the left here. They were high, but they've not got the movement. The movement's not there that they usually have. It would be into the striker, back to a midfielder, bang, the wide player would be through, and they have no options. The players on the ball for Celtic, absolutely zero.
Rangers free kick then. Tavernier is over it. It's 5 or 6 yards away from the near side touchline, midway inside the Celtic half. The Rangers right. As Tavernier sizes up Kasper Schmeichel's penalty box. And it comes, Tavernier, the Rangers skipper, towards the 6-yard line, headed away by Tierney. Giga chasing it wide on the left to keep it going here. Now he's found Diamonde, takes a touch, gets the cross in, doesn't beat the first man, Carter Vickers, who heads clear. Barron heads it back towards the box, headed away by Scales. Osgaard helps it on its way. Miovski, little header to the left, looking for Moore, and it's bundled behind for a Rangers corner by Ralston. It stays 0-0. I just wondered if Miovski might have been in for himself there.
Yeah, you're right, absolutely. And the other one is Celtic was so slow getting out to the second phase of that it just sat back in, and it invited the pressure on them.
I think you're right. I think they've played for a point here today. It looks that way. I know they've not, but I think they'll be happy to go out here with a point.
Yang and Bernardo, I think, maybe coming on shortly for Celtic, and James Forrest perhaps as well. We'll wait and see. It's an in-swinging corner from Tavernier from the Rangers left. It's the attack the goal to the right. In from Tavernier, it's under the keeper's bar, and Schmeichel gathers.
Yeah,
Rangers 0, Celtic 0.
Slightly overhit, but there was almost a bit. I think both sets of players, nearly everybody was inside that 6-yard box.
Here comes Celtic, it's Nygren. He's not far from the Rangers box. Moore with a challenge, and it is a foul. He's arguing with Don Robertson, the referee. Nygren's down. Hart, the yellow card's out here as well.
Yeah,
and I think Moore's going to get booked. Whether it's for the foul or for the dissent, I'm not sure, but it's going to be a yellow card for the on-loan Spurs youngster. And it's going to be a Celtic free kick in a decent position. Now, the changes that are being made, I did see Yang and Bernardo, but they've sat back down now. James Forrest and Shin Yamada are being readied for Celtic, so that'll be the changes in the very near future. 63 minutes played, and a Celtic free kick in an attacking position here. They've done precious little in the attacking third from open play, so this might be the way forward for the champions. It's not often we've said that down the years. Nygren is over it. Line of players along the 18, and it is Nygren, chips it towards Carter Vickers, whose header comes back towards Hatate, breaks to McGregor, shoots it goal to Tierney on the overhead kick, and it's held on to by Butland. And there's a warning for Rangers there. Tierney gets that either side. He might have been getting something a little bit better than that as Ralston heads away with Schmeichel coming a long way from his goal line. Ralston dealt with it though, and you're just waiting, and what's going through your head, and I think just about everyone else, is that Ralston and Schmeichel clash into each other.
Exactly, that's exactly what's going through my mind. He's made a decision to come all the way to his goal. Schmeichel, I think Ralston was always, Ralston was always in control of it. All he do is just keep his eye on the ball and head it, and Schmeichel is waiting for him to just clash into
You're waiting for the old Miller-Hansen thing, isn't it? You're waiting for that.
He's putting fear into the Celtic defence and panic. You can see it with the offside goal. As Richard was talking about half time, you're just thinking, just stay. The worst that can happen is he misses it, Ralston, and you just get the ball, but really took the two of them out.
Balakisha and Engels, the two Belgians, have come off, replaced by Yamada and by Forrest.
Yeah, we've been asking for that change probably to happen. Yamada, never sure yet what he can produce, but that's Nygren back into his normal position now in the middle of the pitch, just a swap over for Engels, obviously with Forrest and Maeda going out on the left-hand side. So we'll see how this develops now.
The fact is, as poor as Celtic have been, it's 0-0.
Yeah,
they're not losing this game.
Game's there to be won.
Yeah, 25 minutes still to play. Ralston for Yamada, couldn't quite flick it out to Nygren. I've seldom seen Brendan Rodgers so obviously frustrated and annoyed as I have this afternoon.
He's got a better, I'm not sure if they're going to win it, but he's definitely got a better balance about his team now.
Forrest on the right, infield to Hatate. Hatate, it's a dreadful ball. Real Hatate, not sure what he's thinking there. He put it straight through to Butland.
Wow, that was a pass come shot, wasn't it? It wasn't a shot, but it was almost ended up like being a shot, but he was never in control of what he was doing.
The pass was so bad, it was a shot. As Suter plays it back to Butland.
Well described, Liam.
Chip ball forward by Butland. Too high for Gassama. Tierney wins the header, and it's McGregor back to Scales. They don't finish goalless terribly often, these fixtures. It is Celtic with Forrest, getting it from Ralston, back to Ralston. Nygren's gone down, meantime he's looking for a free kick, which isn't coming. Hatate in the centre circle.
He's got off the 2 or 3 today, Mo Diamonde. I was watching him there, definitely just clipped him. Look.
He's been tripped there, and the yellow card's out again. It's Diamonde this time, joins Mikey Moore in the book.
Yeah, just a late tackle.
That is a yellow card for persistent fouling for Mohamed Diamonde.
Just looking at Taverny here now, speaking to his centre half, Giga inside. So that space between the two of them now will be really interesting to see if Maeda can exploit it.
Carter Vickers sweeps it into the Rangers half for Shinya Mada. Back to Hatate. He's managed to loop it out to Maeda over the head of Tavernier. Maeda back to Tierney. Tierney forward to Nygren. Remember the prize there for Celtic. They could go 9 clear of their neighbours with a win today. Hatate has it at the edge of the box. He's gone down. The referee doesn't see any foul. And once again, Giga, so haunted by previous errors, batters it away when it was calmly coming through to Butland. Celtic take the throw in quickly. Hatate in the box, goes down, and it's going to be a goal kick only. Hatate is an optimistic look at referee Robertson. No foul. Goal kick Rangers. It's 0-0. But you can see every time Nasser Giga is in that kind of position, this time he's inside his own box there, he's just he's just getting rid of it.
Yeah,
even when the goalkeeper's going to get
his confidence.
And he trusted the goalkeepers today. That's what I'll ask you.
Oh, here we go. He trusted Giga there, the goalkeeper.
No Suter.
The old Union.
Just like Messrs Aitken and White and the rest used to trust this man. As Giga picks up and plays it short to his right for Tavernier.
If they didn't trust me, I would let them know, that's for sure.
I'm sure you would. Got no doubt about that.
It's a fair mind battle, that.
Yeah. Carter Vickers wins it back off Miovski. It's McGregor. Finds Ralston. All the way back to Schmeichel. Heading towards the final 20 minutes at Ibrox. It is Rangers 0, Celtic 0. Dundee derby to come in half an hour at Dens Park. Aberdeen Falkirk, Hibernian St Mirren, 3 o'clock kickoffs. Mammoth Sports Sound this Sunday afternoon. Late summer. Liam Scales for Celtic. Forward it comes to Hatate. Low ball out to Tierney and back to Liam Scales. As Pat Bonner said, there is a game there to be won. Do either of these teams have it in them to turn 1 point into 3 with 20 left?
Yeah, you can see Celtic are a little bit more comfortable now, and what they're doing. The threat is still up front there. There's the run into the striker.
Yamada surely fell where Giga was. Free kick, Celtic, but left of the centre circle in the Rangers half.
Liam, there's been no threat yet, but you can see right away he's comfortable holding the ball up. Right, I don't know if he's a good enough player. And these runs,
yeah, and Maeda chasing it. It's going to go behind for a corner, indeed, for Celtic. He's taking a little nick off James Tavernier there.
You know what I mean? He's comfortable. Maeda's more comfortable making that run. Forrest more comfortable. He probably thought coming here today, Brendan Rodgers will be tough to beat. He's got this far without losing a goal, so you can't have a pop. But I'm so surprised that they chose the balance they did today.
Celtic's first corner of the derby arrives in the 71st minute, and it comes towards the penalty spot from Nygren, headed half away. Hatate trying to get back onto it, booted to safety by Suter. Deep into the Celtic half. or Schmeichel gets onto it. Rangers change is coming. There's going to be one for Celtic as well. Cyril Dessers is going to be on for Rangers in just a moment. I think Oliver Antman's the other. Celtic are going to look to their new signing, Marcelo Saracchi. You would imagine he'll be replacing Tierney, who seemingly can't complete 90 minutes. Here's Forrest. Rangers giving it away cheaply. Forrest got it through to Yamada. It's a poor touch though, and Butland comes and claims. There is just a sense right now that this match is beginning to tip towards the champions.
Yeah, they're much more comfortable there than they're.
Butland gets there just ahead of Yamada, clears, and suddenly the natives are restless here at Ibrox.
It's only because that they've been asked to do that. That's what's brought the pressure on, and that's what the fans are letting them know. Why take chances when we're dominating the game?
50,013 inside Ibrox as Kieran Tierney is subbed off once again. The Scotland international, and Saracchi is on loan from Boca Juniors in Argentina. Uruguay international comes on for his debut, and off come Moore and Miovski. Will be replaced by Dessers and Antman. How did you rate Bojan Miovski's debut, Billy?
Oh, I thought he wore his socks off. I'm surprised that he lasted this long. He was getting in goal scoring positions. I think he'll score goals for Rangers, but he worked hard enough, and it'll be really good for him. He's got all these minutes under his belt, Liam.
Yeah, had a dreadful time in Spain. Just didn't happen for him, albeit Girona had a shambles of a season last time around themselves as Diamondi clips it through looking for Dessers. Carter Vickers gets there and knees it back. I thought you need it back to Schmeichel, but he's played it with his foot, the Celtic keeper. Ralston up the line on the far side looking for Forrest, but he's put it straight out for a Rangers throw-in. 72.5 minutes on the clock. Rangers 0, Celtic 0. And we wonder, like Dessers coming on there, could this be his final appearance in a Rangers shirt? Window closing tomorrow. Here's Oscar for Rangers, the edge of the box, shoots, deflected. Schmeichel prevents the corner with his foot. And he slid out along the byline to make sure Rangers weren't getting their 7th corner of the piece. Played back there, Nygren to Ralston, the byline, he bounces it back off Antman, and behind it goes for a Celtic goal kick. Is there going to be a winner in this game, this first derby between these two this season?
And saying that, I think both managers would probably be happy with a draw coming out of this fixture. I think Celtic would be delighted with a draw, the way they played in that for most of the game up until the last probably 5 minutes. But just with the way the things have been in the last probably week or so, not to get beaten in this game is probably the priority.
I think both teams, I know Rangers have tried to win it, but still not really created outstanding chances.
It's all set pieces, isn't it?
Yeah. The problem they've got, though, to be happy with a draw is to accept that you've not won any of your first 4 league games for the first time since 1983.
Yeah, the attitude was always going to come in this game. You can't hide the attitude here. If people are questioning whether the players are with the manager or not, you get out there and this fixture takes care of itself. If you're hiding out there, you're not applying yourself, the crowd will soon let you know about it. But Rangers have been dominant today. They've been in Celtic's faces. Celtic have got through this far. They've dogged their way through the game, and now they've kind of, you're right, Liam, they probably sense that they can maybe nick it. That's where I am with the fixture.
Nadim Bayrami is going to come on here for Oscar, who appears to have picked up a knock. He's kind of limping off here. Yeah, Rangers haven't won any of their opening 3 league games, drawing them all against Motherwell, Dundee and St Mirren. First time since 1989. It was Maurice Johnston who scored against Aberdeen in match day 4 to secure victory. He would win the league that season, despite not winning any of their first 3. It's the second of their 9 in a row in the late 80s through the 90s. But 1983, he went on to finish 4th when they last failed to win any of their first 4 league games. As it stands, will be the case. 15 to play. 0-0. Giga back to Butland. Long ball forward there, Butland. It's underneath it is Carter Vickers. Bouncing ball on the far side. It's headed away by Ralston. Next to Bayrami, who's just on, looking to get back onto it from Ant-Man, who's going to get back onto it himself here, the Finn. Blocked by Hatate. Ralston finds McGregor. And Ralston passing it forward. Yamada, was he felled by Suter? Yes, he was. Another example of what Billy Dodge was talking about. He doesn't look like the biggest centre forward, but he's holding off a powerhouse in John Suter there.
I think it's a good part of his game. Like, he likes holding the ball up. You can see he's comfortable with it.
There's Nygren picking it up, looking up at the box, shoots for a goal over the bar.
There's so many options there.
You can hear the groan from Packy Boner.
Yeah, so many options. The space had opened up when he picked it up, and the first thing in his head was just to go and have a strike, a goal. For me, it was a wrong decision. Wrong decision.
Forrest is letting him know about it as well, but he had Hatate, Yamada, Maeda. He had a few.
Yeah.
John Suter for Rangers. Long one, looking for Dessers. The sun comes back out here in Glasgow. It's Carter Vickers who's doing the defending. He's gone down hoping to hear a whistle, and he has done. Free kick.
Clever.
Dessers is having a go at the referee. Schmeichel plays it short there to Scales inside his own box. Long ball with the left foot, flicked on by Yamada. Nygren's not going to get onto it though, didn't read the situation. And now it's Migoma for Rangers driving forward, but he's played it straight off Ralston, who'll in turn play it back to Schmeichel. Oh, Schmeichel to Scales, he controls it inside his own box. The teams are just obsessed with playing this way. 13 minutes left, and the referee has awarded a free kick to Celtic here, just to the edge of their own box.
I'll tell you, Scales did well there, didn't he? To even control that ball. It was.
He did, yeah.
And play his way out.
Nygren, first time ball out to the right for Ralston. Rolls it back into the path of Nygren, who's got the new signing Sarachi here. He plays it up the line with the left foot for Maeda. Infield to Nygren. Tried to force it through to Maeda. It breaks off Barron, back to Nygren. Sarachi on the left. In comes the cross, looking for Forrest. Forrest in to try and take it down. He goes down, no. Question of a penalty. Rangers clear only as far as Callum McGregor. Out to Forrest at the right angle of the box, taking on Diamonde, looking to get to the byline. Comes off Forrest last. That may well be a goal kick. Yes, it is. Forrest wants a corner. It did look as though it kind of rolled down his torso and behind for the goal kick to Rangers, and that is exactly what happened. 12 minutes of the 90 left. Rangers 0, Celtic 0. Dundee derby coming up in just over 20 minutes.
It's got, you're right, Pat, I think it's got better for Celtic. Still not brilliant, but you can see now this balanced team is offering a threat. They're picking up a lot more balls in midfield, and they've got threats going forward, so Rangers full-backs are pinned back, and now Rangers are having to defend a bit.
Sarachi will take a Celtic throw in here, and then an advanced position. He's found Yamada spinning away from Barron, trying to do likewise with Diamonde. The Rangers midfielder emerges on top and goes down and wins the free kick. Foul by Shin Yamada. He pointed at himself there as if to say, what, me?
The one thing about Diamonde, he's not, he doesn't look a big, strong physique, but by God, he gets in.
Oh, he's a strong boy. I know he doesn't look it, he's so skinny, but oh my word, he is so strong and energetic. He usually blows up after about 75 minutes, so.
Just over 10 to play of the 90. Suter, infield for Diamonde. Away from Yamada, not away from Nygren. It's the Celtic midfielder on the ball here.
Barron's hamstring looks if it's gone.
Yeah, he's struggling. Down goes Sarachi to win the free kick. And yeah, Barron's not going to be able to continue by the looks of it. Billy spotted it there. It's going to be a Celtic free kick when all is said and done. It's out wide on the left, and a chance for them to load the box here.
Let's hope it's just cramp. He just gripped it right away, and I thought, and he was trying to run, but he said no game time at all this season, and then big fixture they come into it, hard to sustain it for 90 minutes.
No Lyle Cameron today, of course. Connor Barron might not be able to continue here and go into the final 10 minutes. Brendan Rodgers is having a conversation with his captain. They do, even though they're not really testing Jack Butland, they do look more likely now, Celtic. You wouldn't put it past them now. At this point, we know that late goals are woven through the club's history. You just wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's the bit that's for up until
Curtis for Barron, by the way.
Sorry, yeah, he made the substitutions. There was no threat.
Rothwell for Barron.
Absolutely no threat.
Sorry, I saw Curtis. He is coming on. He's going to replace Kusama. Rothwell's going to come on for Barron, Billy.
Yeah, he's been really good. Connor Barron, he's been excellent in the game. Big part of Rangers having a good performance, energetic. And Rothwell comes on, got to keep it going for the last 10 minutes. And then Finlay Curtis, you know what he's like. He's a boy with a brilliant attitude, so he'll come in and try to get Rangers into forward areas, but also make sure they're solid at the back.
Scored that goal, didn't he, last week in Paisley? Salvaged a draw against St Mirren. As Nygren prepares to take this free kick, just a few yards from the near side touchline. It's almost level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box. In from Nygren, might break Scales' way, it doesn't. It's clear by Rothwell. Sarachi is the deepest outfield player. He's on it now in the centre circle. Outside of the boot, forward out to Nygren. This certainly won't face Sarachi, man from Uruguay, who is on loan from Boca Juniors. Some of the matches you get there, particularly that one against River Plate. Good experience of all that as Forrest skips in field. He's overhit that one though. He flicked it with the outside of the right, looking for Nygren. It's going to go behind to the goal kick. 8 minutes left, 0-0.
Yeah, it was good movement from Forrest there, just coming in inside, just overhit the pass, again a penetrating pass for that man Nygren running, and that's kind of the feature of his game.
You honestly can't take your eyes off it when sometimes you think when a team gets a goal kick, that gives you a chance to reset and just check a couple of things. Not so much these days. Rangers playing it out in the back. Just keep an eye on it for me, that'd be good. Rangers have it wide in the left of the Celtic box, chance potentially here. Fired in towards Curtis and cleared as Bayrami's cross came in. And Rangers have their latest corner kick as we approach the 83-minute mark. Looking to make the breakthrough here late in the day.
This is where sometimes when you make all the changes that there can be a little bit of confusion, who's picking up who, so they've got to get that sorted very quick. That comes from the players on the pitch.
Last 0-0 between these two was on the 30th of December 2017. It's heading that way right now, unless Tavernier with the corner, and it's headed away well by Scales at the near post. Breaks back to Tavernier, second chance. His cross cut out at source though. Dies in Maida, can just smash it clear, and Shinya Yamada driving forward, as is Forrest on the counter here. The ball eventually nodded on by Forrest. Diamonde gets back and heads it back to Butland. Yamada thinks he's fouled. That's brilliant from Diamonde, because Yamada would have been very interested in that long ball that was bouncing horribly towards the defence.
Yeah, the threat was there again though. There was a foot race and Forrest and Yamada putting Diamande and co under pressure, and they had to handle it, and they nearly got there, but they managed to get it back to Butland, who's now picked up a knock.
Butland's down, and fell as he launched the ball forward.
Yeah, there's nothing on him, I don't think. I think
he's okay.
He's onto that left foot, which is not as strong as one.
Sports Sound here in BBC Radio Scotland across the frequencies, the closing stages of the first Rangers-Celtic match of the season. No goals. Rangers, who are bossing the large spells of the first half. Celtic have been more in it in the second. And both teams have looked pretty toothless. As Tavernier looks for Curtis. Sarachi's underneath it. Curtis will try and get back onto it in the near side. Goes down and wins the free kick. How often do we see players do that?
Yeah, you can see him. I just plant my body. That's what happened with the penalty claim. I'll just get there first and I'll stop. And if I stop and he wants to be clumsy and get into the back way, I'm going down. And that's exactly what happened.
Well, Celtic are going to bring Luke McCowan on for the closing stages. James Tavernier has a free kick, just about a yard from the near side touchline, beyond the midway point of the Celtic half, on the Rangers' right as they attack the goal to our right. And up high behind Brendan Rodgers' technical area in the main stand. The referee's whistle. Tavernier's free kick, headed behind for the corner by Rio Hatate. Rangers keep the pressure on.
Yeah, these set pieces is, I think, the way for Celtic, or for Rangers to score. Celtic have got to be really strong defensively on these.
close to double figures in the corner count. Rangers, Celtic have only had one of them. An outswinger from Tavernier. On the Rangers right then. Any goal now you feel would win it. It's in from Tavernier, it's poor, it's headed away by McGregor. Back out to Tavernier, takes a touch to control, gets the cross in, headed away by Maida. By Rami at the edge of the box, tried a cushion pass to Ant-Man, cut out by Yamada and cleared. And back to his goalkeeper from Migoma. He gets it back from Butland. Migoma stepping forward away from Forrest. Long ball with the left foot out to the right, looking for Curtis. Curtis onto it. Sirachi's the covering player for Celtic. Curtis with the outside of the boot, looking for Bayrami. He's won it off Sirachi. Little back heel, back to Curtis. He's in the box. Maida's challenge. The Rangers fans want a penalty. And then Rothwell slides in as Sirachi clears. Then Yamada's hurt now after the challenge with Giga. Yeah, I think Yamada's leg underneath Giga's challenge there. And it's going to result in a yellow card for the Rangers defender. But they will be having a look at that. Challenge by Daisen Maida inside his own box.
Yeah, they'll look at it, but I didn't think it was. I thought he got usual thing. He gets back quickly and gets himself in between the ball and the player.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You know what Giga's got in the book, because I'll tell you what, Shin Yamada's done well, because it hasn't been the best service up to him, and he's been, as you said, Liam, he's shown that strength, but he's drawn foul after foul. He showed strength to get there first, which you'd always do as a striker, and try and take in. If they want to foul you, your team's going up the pitch. I think he's done well today, the lad, because it's not been good passes to him. He's had to fight it all the way.
Hatate coming off to be replaced by McCowan for the final 2.5 minutes of the 90, plus whatever referee Robertson adds on at the end.
Yeah, I thought Hatate has not been his game today. He's not really got on the ball and passed it, or it's just been such a dogfight in the middle of the pitch that not allowed him any space.
Not much of a dogfight. Don Robertson speak to the two caps, calm it down.
Yeah, Shin Yamada, 25, signed a 4-year deal. He was previously at Kawasaki Frontale in his homeland. He did make his Japan debut earlier this year. It's the one cap against Hong Kong in July. So he looks for his first goal in Celtic colours. 2 minutes of the 90 left, and I believe 3 minutes will be added on at the end of that. So 5 left of this derby. Is there to be a winner? Long ball from Schmeichel, headed away by Tavernier, only as far as McCowan to Maida. Appealed to Yamada, back to Maida, couldn't find McCowan. Bayrami snapping around it to win it back, which he does, and he clears, and Dessers chases, but Scales is there. Scales goes back to Schmeichel. Just gets it back to Scales.
Oh, he was
Dessers,
so lucky.
he almost gave it straight to Dessers.
Yeah, so lucky, he never caught it right.
Long ball Carter Vickers straight onto the chest of Tavernier. Forward to Curtis, back to Rothwell, square to Suter. Suter rolls it out to Ant-Man on that left-hand side. We've seen late winners down the years in this fixture. Ant-Man finds Rothwell, flashes it forward there to Bayrami. Right to the D, misunderstanding with Curtis. And it goes behind for the goal kick, and it will stay. In minute 90, Rangers 0, Celtic 0.
Yeah, listen, you know, it's going to, I think, as I said earlier, I think both managers will be happy to come out of this going with a draw. Brendan Rodgers obviously much more happier with the way they've played. Obviously going to Ibrox, also getting a draw at the start of the season. You haven't given anything away, and from that perspective, but even Russell Martin, I think he'll probably take it.
Definitely. But he'll say his team gave him everything today and should have won the game.
A draw enough to take Celtic back to the top ahead of the international break on goal difference ahead of Hearts. As it's picked up by Ant-Man on the far side for Suter, and find them as we go into the first of the 3 minutes. Celtic emerge with the ball with Shin Yamada on the right, level the edge of the D of the Rangers box, out to Forrest, back to Ralston. So yeah, 3 minutes added on, and the first is underway here. Forrest on the far side, no way back. The team concedes at this point. Ralston back onto the halfway line, gets it down the line, but it's gone straight to Ngoma. Long ball forward, Scales with a header. Bouncing ball on the far side. It's a long one from Diamande, but it's collected by Scales, whose header finds Carter Vickers back to Schmeichel. Long ball forward, looking for Maida. Loses out to Tavernier, who's had so many issues with Maida down the years. Tavernier, he's kept him quiet since Maida was moved out wide. Long ball, Scales heads away. Sarachi up into the air, headed on by Nygren. Tavernier is all the way back to Butland, who controls in the penalty spot. Long ball forward, Scales are going to get underneath it, wins the header. And it's dropped Curtis's way. Curtis standing on the right and then stepping in field and passing it back to Rothwell. Side foot ball to the left. Migoma, it's a poor pass for Ant-Man, though. He's given it straight to Ralston. It's been symptomatic of what we've watched out there today. Eye bleeding at times. Oh, and Callum McGregor just stood waiting for a teammate, and he's lost it to Dessers at the edge of the box, but recovers. Diamande has it on the far side, gets the cross in, headed away by Carter Vickers. The bounce was awkward for both Suter and Yamada, and it breaks the G-gap. We're well into the second of the 3 minutes. Rangers 0, Celtic 0. G-gap goes all the way back to Butland. The Rangers supporters wanted it to go the other way.
And they're offside, two of them.
It's not going to get that far. Carter Vickers wins the header, nods it forward, but Giga will head it back to Butland. Final minute. Otherwise, it's a point apiece. Neither can find a goal in these 60 seconds. Long ball headed away from Butland by Carter Vickers. Migoma picks up the scraps on the far side, back to Suter. Now it's with Rothwell in the centre circle. Plays it to his right for Tavernier. Tavernier chips it through. Curtis goes after it. Headed away by Sarachi. McGregor clears. I mean, just got away with one a moment ago. Tavernier forward towards Dessers and headed back to his keeper by McCowan. And it stays Rangers 0, Celtic 0. It's not often Callum McGregor's head is swimming, but he just seemed to stop and wait. Dessers nicked it off him.
It's not often that he doesn't stay around about his body, that's for sure. His orientation, just he got caught badly, and it could have led to something, but Rangers didn't have the capability probably. That's it.
It's all over. It's all over. Celtic will be the happier of the two. They've maintained their unbeaten start to the season, and then gone back to the summit of the Premiership ahead of the first international break of the campaign. But they were poor again today, the champions. Barely threatened Jack Butland throughout the 90 minutes plus. And that's 3 of their last 4 matches where they have failed to score, including the extra time period in Kazakhstan the other night. Rangers did have the ball in the net. John Suter's header, it was ruled out for offside. They felt they should have had a penalty for a potential foul on Miovski in the first half in the box, and the debutant went down under the challenge of his old Aberdeen colleague Liam Scales. But they barely threatened, as I say. It was a toothless display by Celtic, most unlike them. But as I said, they'll be the happier. They're back at the top, and Rangers have played 4 league matches, and whilst they're unbeaten, they haven't won any of them. And it's the first time since 1983 that Rangers have failed to win any of their opening 4 matches. And it maintains that little gap there between the two of these two. There are several teams between them at the first international break of the campaign. Weren't too many opportunities in that second half. Lots of bad football played here in this derby match, and for the first time in almost 8 years, it finishes goalless. Rangers 0, Celtic 0.